Hello, everyone, and welcome to The No Show. I'll be your host, Nathan Orenstein, and today I'm going to be reviewing Eternity. Eternity is written by Pat Cunnane and David Freyne, directed by David Freyne, and stars Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller, Callum Turner, Davine Joy Randolph, and John Early. In an afterlife where souls have 1 week to decide where to spend eternity, Joan is faced with an impossible choice. She must choose to spend her eternity with Larry, her second husband of 65 years, or Luke, her first husband who died young in the war and who has waited decades to be reunited with her. Eternity is honestly one of my favorite rom-coms to come out from the past few years. To start, its setting feels extremely fresh. This is a version of the afterlife that I don't think we've ever really seen before, with all sorts of eternities to pick from, like Beach World or Mountain World or even Capitalism World. This version of the afterlife has all sorts of weird quirks and rules too that I won't spoil, and it comes together with very colorful and detailed production design to bring it all to life. There was clearly a lot of thought put into this afterlife that they've come up with, both in its concept and its aesthetic, and it makes for a surprisingly charming backdrop for a romantic comedy. But obviously, the romance and the comedy should be good for a rom-com too, and they definitely are here. In terms of romance, you're getting two competing relationships, as Larry and Luke basically spend the film convincing Joan, played by Elizabeth Olsen, that she should spend her eternity with one of them and not the other. It's a pretty classic love triangle setup, but with a healthy heaping of existentialism thrown in for good measure, which obviously makes the weight of Joan's choice feel pretty heavy. Olsen is fantastic here, really serving as the emotional backbone of the film as she's grappling with this impossible choice, and I think Teller and Turner have great chemistry as these two men butting heads to win her over. Both of these relationships are believable and feel strong enough that I really found myself invested in Joan's ultimate decision. I will say, I found Callum Turner's Luke to be easily the most underwhelming of the three main characters. This was definitely intentional, seeing that he was Joan's first love, and that they really didn't get much time together to develop complex feelings for one another and all, but the scenes of just the two of them honestly never grabbed me the same way the rest of the film did. The film also has some pretty uneven pacing, unfortunately, and I think Luke's the character that suffers the most from this as well. As far as the comedy's concerned, this was a really surprising highlight for me. It's headlined by Davine Joy Randolph and John Early's performances as two afterlife coordinators, or ACs as they're known as. They've gotten themselves involved and invested in Joan's choice too, and it's pretty hilarious watching them pick sides and try to sway Joan one way or the other. And honestly, these two have some of the best comedic deliveries I've seen all year. This version of the afterlife is also full of small, hilarious details, like some of the worlds you can choose to go to, or just the way the afterlife works in general. I feel like so many rom-coms lean hard one way or the other, but Eternity actually does a really good job of feeling like it's half romance, half comedy. Overall, Eternity is a film that's pretty easy to recommend to anyone who's a fan of rom-coms, romance films, or comedy films. Its fully fleshed out vision of the afterlife is such a refreshing backdrop, and it's really easy to buy into both of the core relationships here. I did have some issues with the pacing, and I did think Luke was a bit too one-dimensional compared to Larry, but the film still comes out on top. I'm going to be giving Eternity a 7 out of 10. If you enjoyed the review, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And if you've seen Eternity already, I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. I've been Nathan Orenstein with The No Show. Thanks for watching.